Hi, everyone. If you're finding that homework time ends up with arguments, shutdown, or tears, you may not need a stricter routine, but you may need a routine that helps the brain get ready. Today, we're going to discuss a simple plan: move first, then, and we're going to fill in the blanks as we go on. And we'll also learn how to discuss this with teachers at school. Remember that movement isn't a break from learning, it's a form of support that helps with attention and regulation. Different movements do different things, and we're going to talk about what movement to do and when to do it. So, before we get started, please subscribe for more information on neurodiversity and the supports that you can use. Let's get started. Here are 5 types of movements that will help support the brain. Now, we're going to expand a little bit more on the introduction we gave to these movements in the last episode. So, the first one is heavy work, and this is the best for regulating somebody, someone who has a lot of energy and is coming in and has to start a task. Examples: pushing, pulling, carrying. So, carrying a heavy pile of books, a heavy basket, doing wall push ups, things like that. Even planks where you support the body weight. The second one is cross body movements, which is the best for getting started on a task and just maintaining the focus. And this could be cross crawls or opposite knee to elbow marching. The third one is rhythmic exercise, which is the best for calming an anxious mind and improving attention. Examples are walking, bouncing a ball, or stepping to a beat. The fourth one is vestibular. Now, this one we have to be a little bit careful with because it can regulate some people or dysregulate some even more, and only use these movements if you know that it's going to work. So, these are rocking and swinging exercises. For example, sitting in a rocking chair, swinging on a swing, or walking along a balance beam, or drawing a line in the garden and just walking along that line. And the fifth one, which can be done in public if you have the tools, are micro movements. So this is something that you can always do. You can stand up and you can stretch. You can do chair push-ups, or what they use in school are resistance bands. So they take a really thick elastic and they wrap it around the front legs of a student's seat. And as the student is working, they're pushing their feet against this band and getting the resistance that they need to help them with their focus. Now, let's talk a little bit about the move first, then routine. So, this is a routine that you can copy and use at home. We call it the 10-minute brain reset. First 2 minutes, you do heavy work, carrying, pulling, pushing. The next 2 minutes, you do cross body work. The next 2 minutes, you do rhythmic work, bounce a ball, take a walk. And the next 2 minutes, you drink water and have a snack. So please, no sugary snacks. Try to bring in some protein if you can. And then the last 2 minutes, you start the first step in the work you have to do. Write your name, read the instructions, just do a little bit, get started. And then do at least 10, 15, 20 minutes of work, whatever is possible. Now, here is a script that we can use. First, we move for 6 minutes, then we work for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, and then you repeat as needed. This reduces overwhelm and helps maintain attention, especially for individuals with ADHD and anxiety. It gives them a sense of predictability and they know what is happening. Now, let's look at what this could look like at school. If movement does help your child, you could ask for a plan from school, simply and respectfully. Now, there are a few things that you could ask for. You could ask for a movement break every 20 to 30 minutes. You could ask for a standing option for your child, for example, a standing desk or a counter somewhere where your child can stand and do their work. You can ask for your child to get a classroom job, which could include handing out papers or carrying books. You could ask for a movement break specifically before writing activities, or you could ask for movable seating, for example, wobbly stools, hockey stools, or yoga balls if it is available. Here's a script that you can use with school. Movement helps my child regulate and helps them access the learning. Could we plan for a quick movement break or a classroom job every 20 to 30 minutes so that they can focus and access the learning? Now, this isn't a behavior plan, it is helping your child access the learning. This coming week, try the move first, then routine 1 to 3 times and see how it goes. If your child becomes more hyper after the movement, switch to more heavy work and rhythmic movements, and that should help. Next time, we'll be looking at a movement menu for individuals with different needs, for example, anxiety, autism, and ADHD. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time from the Teacher's Desk.